All right, so welcome to lesson number 3 in marine zoology. Today we'll be learning about loggerhead sea turtles, but I actually opened up a page on my free marine sea turtles class. It's a unit study. It's not actually a live class, it's just a collection of lessons and resources that you can go through independently as a self-paced class. So this is a page from that free class on my site. You can find it under the catalog if you want to enroll in that. Your parents can enroll in that for free. So let's look at this resource here. So we can actually read these different parts of the body of the sea turtle. So this is a basic body map. So would anyone like to read these terms?
Could I?
Go ahead. This is Elijah, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Elijah. Go ahead.
Pectoral scale.
It's actually prefrontal. This is an F. I know it's hard to see. Prefrontal. Go ahead.
Nuntial skeletal.
The nuchal scoot. Do you want to try that again?
Neutral scoot.
Good.
Coastal scoot.
Mm-hmm.
Marginal scoot.
Marginal. There's a G there. I know the letters are not so easy to see. I apologize.
I barely saw the I.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
Vertebral scoot.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So the scoots, and this is a very prominent feature on the backs of turtles, tortoises, and sea turtles alike. They are these polygonal plates, which is a shape that we study in my math art class, decorates the back of their shell. Except for the leather back, which has a very tough, leathery overlay of its shell. Sorry to hear that you're still sick, Elijah. So just feel free to take care of yourself if you're not feeling well. Caleb's saying hello to those who are watching the recording. How kind. All right, so we're going to zoom in, read, and study the sea turtle carapace anatomy. We just did that, actually. That prepares us for the diagram below. So we'll zoom in and read and study both of the sea turtle ID posters below. Which sea turtle is the easiest to identify and why? All right, can you tell which one would be the easiest to identify just off the bat?
The leatherback.
Yeah,
Leatherback.
right, hands down, because it doesn't have scoots like all the others. So, and I actually have a class about the leatherback. I kind of put it on the shelf for a while, but I'll probably reintroduce it again in perhaps next year. So this is a sea turtle identification chart. So here we have the key. The yellow portion is the prefrontal, which you can actually point to, prefrontal. The nuchal, so we'll point to the nuchal portion. The costal, which the scoots make up that portion, and vertebral, which follows the ridge line of the backbone. All right, so here we have the flatback turtle. They have one pair of prefrontal scales. There's the nuchal. So I know it's a little tough to read this, so I think I should just be the one to do it. I know it's more exciting to have you guys read, but it's hard to stumble through these words. So the carapace has 4 pairs of coastal scoots. The first pair is not in contact with the nuchal scoot, slightly upturned lateral margins. We have the green turtle, which has 1 pair of prefrontal scales, a toothed beak. Carapace has 4 pairs of coastal scoots, or costal scoots. The first pair is not in contact with the nuchal scoot. All right, here we have the Hawksbill Turtle. It has 2 pairs of prefrontal scales. Right, so we're talking about that here. It has a pointed hooked beak. Carapace has 4 pairs of costal scutes. The first pair is not in contact with the nuchal scute. The carapace scutes are generally overlapping, but this trait fades with age. Then we have Kemp's Ridley turtle. So notice it's more round, more almost like a pancake here compared to the others. The carapace is almost circular in adults, 5 pairs of costal scutes. The first pair is in contact with the nuchal scute. The leatherback is pretty obvious. It has no scales, simply covered by a kind of leather and divided by 7 longitudinal ridges. We come to the Loggerhead Turtle, which is the star of our show today. They have 2 pairs of prefrontal scales. They have a large head. So let's look at their head compared to the others. We'll zoom out. So yeah, it does have a rather thick, wide-looking head, kind of short and stout. This one is similar, the olive ridley. All right, so let's zoom back in and look at the loggerhead sea turtle. So carapace, they have 5 pairs of costal scutes. The first pair is in contact with the nuchal scute, right there. Then we have the olive ridley, 5 to 9 pairs of costal scutes. Look at all the scutes it has. Not necessarily the same number on either side. That's interesting. The first pair is in contact with the nuchal scute, which we can see. So any comments about this identification chart? So, you know, it takes some study to get used to numbers of scutes and shapes of heads, and because there are some similarities. And often on first glance, you can't always tell who's who, like from a picture. Any comments about this?
No.
Okay, next we have a little bit more of a complex mapping chart. Here you can see the leatherback. Here you can see a close-up view of the heads of the different sea turtles. So we have, and I know it's sideways, so that makes it even trickier to read. We have the olive ridley, Kemp's ridley, loggerhead, hawksbill, flatback, green, and leatherback. So here's the loggerhead, and let's just observe the differences between the heads. And go ahead and just talk out loud what you notice about the differences between the heads and how that might help you identify them.
The nose looks like the mouth looks like a hog's-bill.
For the loggerhead,
Yes.
here one is called the hawksbill. So it does have quite a prominent foremouth there. It looks like a beak. Notice how speckled the leatherback's head is, kind of similar to the speckling on the rest of its body. Any other observations about the differences between the heads? The green sea turtle has kind of a rounded underjaw. The jaw is rounded on the bottom, more so than the others, I'm noticing. All right, so we'll move up the chart. I don't want to read through all this because it's a bit cumbersome, but you can just see the different turtles lined up. And we have the left portion of the scutes that are highlighted in yellow, showing us variation in number and geometric shape, which is pretty interesting. Okay, so pretty neat little charts there.